Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Well, today I'm going to be taking a look at this new little drone from Snaptain. This is the K30. Now this is a toy drone, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. That's kind of why I'm just holding my phone here reviewing it and not using the tripod. But I just want to give you a real quick overview and we'll get it outside and fly it around. So it's kind of a Whoop style, but it's a little bit larger. So it's a little bit big to do a test flight here inside. Just your two blade props, has these blue covers on them. So again, it's kind of that Whoop style, but they give these little, they just call them spare rings. And if you pull these little covers off, you can just put these white rings on. I don't know really why. It kind of matches the body, but you don't have the middle pieces because these are all one single piece. I don't know what's up with that. You get two of these modular style batteries that recharge off a USB-C, and these are, it's kind of hard to see the capacity. Hopefully it zooms in. I think it's 850 milliamp, and these are of course 1S little batteries. So you just use a USB-C cable to charge these, and they advertise here, this comes packaged really nicely. Like this would look like a display, something you'd see on a display like at your local Walmart or something. It doesn't look like something you'd order online, but you can see up here in the corner it says that it has a flight time of 9 minutes times 2, so it's not two batteries equal 9. It means each battery should get 9 minutes. So I guess you could say a combined 18-minute flight time if I'm reading that correctly. Altitude hold. It does some 3D flips here. It also has a program mode where it can do some pre-programmed things while you fly. And then you can see we got the spare props, and they give you a little carrying bag. You can put the drone in, I guess, if you want to keep everything in it. Pretty nice looking little controller. You have a phone clip holder because you do use an app for this, because it does have a little camera, little pinhole camera here in the front. So the app for this, I think, was the Snaptain, let's get the phone to zoom in, focus in, Snaptain FPV app. So that's the app. I'll try to remember to screenshot that up here on the screen, and you can download that if you want to use the camera with this. So pretty standard controls, obviously. You're going to have all your typical controls you see on a drone here, a one-key takeoff, your 3D flips and circle fly, depending on whether you short press or long press for 3 seconds. Over here's your speed switch, so it's probably 2 speeds. You have a power button off to the right of that. And then on top you have off to the right side of the screen here, you have your light control. And then the left is this function key. That's where you're going to press that and do some pre-programmed flights. You want to do that in a kind of open area so you don't slam it into a wall or something. And then it mentions if you would lose the drone, which, you know, if you're a new person to flying, a beginner, all of us are prone to losing a drone, but you might be more likely if you bought this and it's maybe your first drone and you're flying outside and you get caught in a gust of wind and you see it come down, and of course you don't have GPS or something on the drone to find it. You could hold down both the function and the light key, and the drone is supposed to emit a beeping sound. So it's going to help you audibly be able to find it as you get closer and you hear the beeping. So that's pretty cool. I like to see innovation with these toys, and they kind of hit a wall, and that's something I've never seen on a drone, just really at all, but especially a toy that actually is going to be able to do that. And of course it does have the LED lights that it mentions too. We'll have to see how those look. So I'm going to get this charged up and we'll get it outside and take it for a test flight. So I'll be right back. All right guys, so I'm back. I haven't taken it outside yet because I don't think I'm going to. I wanted to turn this on because I wanted to see how this light's looking. My goodness, this drone has some of the coolest LED lights I have ever, in fact, I'll say it has the coolest I've ever seen on any drone, not just a toy drone. Really makes this drone a lot more appealing in my opinion. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly this indoors. It won't be great. At least I want to fly it indoors to let you see the lights. If I feel like I can't get a good enough test flight, then I'll take it outside. But I just don't feel like the LED lights are not going to be visible in the daytime like they are in the evening or inside like I'm down in my basement with low light. Because wow, these look just fantastic. Now you can cycle through these. So if I just press the button, you can see these different light patterns. Look how cool that is. I mean, you could take that up and someone might think there's a UFO in the neighborhood. Just these different LED light patterns. And then now we've gone to a blue. I mean, there's a bunch of them. I think that one looks really cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I really like it. And it had that pattern like that's cool. But I really like that one, almost breathing as it goes through different colors. Another thing I wanted to also test was that sound it'll make if you were to lose the drone. Now keep in mind that for this to work, the controller would still have to be connected to the drone through the controllers and signal. You know, the signal from the drone from the controller would still have to be connected. So if the drone was really far away, it lost connection, it wouldn't be able to send a signal to tell the drone to make that sound. What you can do is you're going to hold both of these top buttons down for 3 seconds, and it'll make this beep. So let's do that. Let's do it again here. Hold on. I didn't hold it down for 3 seconds. It also changed the light pattern because that light button's getting pressed as well. That's pretty loud, and you would be able to locate this. And once it's turned on, if you did lose connection, it'll keep beeping. Now to turn that off, you just briefly press the power button. And now we're back. Now I don't like that light pattern as much, so I'm gonna go back to a different one here. Hopefully, oh, I'm hitting the wrong button. I'm hitting the function button. I think that's really cool. Also, this drone has the ability to do the throw and go. So if the gyro detects, you know, movement like that, you throw it up, the drone should fire up the motors and go. Now this battery is not charged. This is just the battery out of the box. So I can't really test that now. But I have another battery charging. So when it's done, I'm gonna try to fly this around here and film it in the basement. And like I said, if I don't think I got good enough test flight, which it'll be tough in this area, then I might take it outside and fly it. But this is still relatively small. We'll probably be okay just to do it indoors. I feel like we're not giving it a fair shake by not letting you guys see the LEDs during the daytime. So let me get the battery fully charged and we'll be right back. All right, so it happens to be the next day and I'm waiting to get the battery charged, and I thought I'd fly it upstairs in my main floor of my house since we have more room, a lot more than the basement. Not as ideal as outside, but I really want you guys to be able to see these LED lights, but you're just so cool, and it's something that really makes this drone neat when you're flying it around. So flying it indoors, if you have enough space, you're going to really see these different LED light patterns. And I do have it connected to the Snaptain FPV app. I didn't attach the phone clip holder. I'm just going to set my phone on the edge of the table here, since I don't need to fly by FPV here inside of me flying line of sight, but I will record the video so you guys can at least see the little 720p camera on this. And we're going to try the toss and go or the throw and go feature to see if the drone fires motors up. If the drone does happen to crash and it doesn't want to go again, you do your left stick to the bottom corner, right stick to the top right corner. I'll do that now. And that's gonna, you'll see the lights go through the pattern. That's resetting the gyro and resetting at the level. And then it should be good to go again after you do that. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. So let's go ahead and start recording a video, and hopefully we're getting that recorded to the phone. If for some reason it doesn't, sometimes these toy drones, you never know how these apps are gonna work. So if the video doesn't show up, it's because it didn't record, but I expect it'll be just fine. So let's do that throw and go and see if that fires up the motors. Now we should be in the lowest rate. You can see that it's very noisy. That's not uncommon for these little brushed motor toys. So let's see, go up here. We're in the highest rate, so I had to switch all the way to the right. So that's the lowest rate. There's the yaw. Let's go to the higher rate, and you can see the yaw increase. A little more agile now. Flies really well, just really noisy. Again, that's not that uncommon. Let's see if we can do some of those 360 flips. I want to think that was it on this left button here. And there we go. You press that little button right here, and then the direction you want to go. I don't think it's going to do it forward though. Oh yeah, it did. There we go. And back. So that is how you do the flips. You don't use the bumpers. Now it has that pre-program mode. Let's back up here and see if we can briefly try that out. That's where you just press the function button, and it's just gonna spin, it looks like. So that's all that does. Press it again and it'll stop. You can manually tilt the camera down just with your finger if you land it, but I have it all the way up just so it's not always aimed at the ground. Now I think a long press on the 3D flip button will put it into that circle mode. That circling. Let's back up. We're not going to have much room to test that here inside. A long press. Yeah, you can see it's going to go in a circle pattern. It actually worked out better than I thought. Just give it some input to stop it. Yeah. Now we can change our light patterns there. And just really noisy. That'd be the only real downside of flying indoors. If you have a company around, I'm by myself today, home alone, they may not like the noise. It puts out a lot of wind. You can see it blowing Uno cards off the couch and the straw off the table and papers flying. It really puts out a lot of wind. Let's go to a different light pattern there. Just doing some manual funnels right now. Switch the lights again. Highest rate works pretty well for me, so since I have quite a bit of experience flying these drones. Yeah, the K30, this is a fun little drone. I like this quite a bit. Sporty, but not so fast that you are going to instantly crash it inside if you have experience flying these. Let's do a auto landing. So let's press the button here, long press it, and it's going to land. Now you can do that to take off as well, so just long press it. Let's change the light pattern again to the solid blue, long press it, and it fires up the motors and takes off. Now sometimes I notice it's kind of struggling, but we're not on low battery. You gotta give it some throttle. Like it takes off on auto take. Let's do that again, because it's almost like it doesn't give itself enough throttle. Because we can do a manual takeoff, which I'll do in a second, because we shouldn't be at low battery. See, it takes off and then it kind of does that. Did it to me last night. So I wouldn't use the auto takeoff feature. Let's just do a manual takeoff. Let's just land it with manually. To do that, you unlock the motors with both sticks in and just give it full throttle. See, look at that, no problem. So the auto takeoff feature just doesn't give what they're probably trying to do is they don't want you to take off like I did. If you're a beginner, you may crash. They're trying to take off a little bit and hover, but it's not maintaining enough throttle and it's going back and hitting the ground. Auto landing works just fine. So auto takeoff and the throw and go, let's go ahead and let's land it over the table and try the throw and go one more time. Just hold the throttle down and it should land once it detects that it's bumping into the ground or the table. Let's just change the lights again to that. I like that. Let's just do that throw and go. And that works really well because then you know you have the right height you want for takeoff. And it works really well on these drones. I've seen other Snaptains use these. Not too many other companies do, but it's a nice little feature that you can just take these little toys and toss them and fly. You don't have to worry about having a spot to take off. And you can certainly catch this drone in your hand. You may have trouble getting the motors to stop, and there they did. You're not going to hurt yourself, and you're pretty protected. Even if your fingers hit, you're not going to hurt yourself with these little toy motors and little props. So you wouldn't even need to take off from the ground with this drone. Let's see what kind of time we have in the video. It says we're over 6 minutes. And they advertised this, I thought it was I believe it was around a 9-minute flight time. So we can go ahead and go here and see if we get that 9 minutes. It's just getting a bit repetitive. So you can always fast forward. Let's just see if we get around 9 minutes here. That may include the low voltage cutoff where I imagine the LEDs will flash, but it may start to beep. And I showed you guys there earlier how the drone will do that beeping if you want to use it for recovery. We can try to do that again here, but I want to keep it in the air to test that flight time, because we've done a couple landings here briefly while the video was going, so that's going to skew, the time won't be exactly accurate to the flight time, because we did land on the floor there while I was briefly talking. So whatever the video says, you know, we might chop off 20-30 seconds off that for the actual flight time. Now I do a lot of hovering too. The more you're moving around like this, the more we are using more power. So now we're at low voltage, and we are at 7.5 minutes, so a little over 7 minutes, because like I said, some of that was, I was on the ground a little bit there, not too long. So let's see how long we go before it lands. It'll probably start to lose power, so it'll get a little bit sluggish, and like 360 flips and those kind of features are going to be disabled when you get the low power, since it won't have the punch to recover from a flip when the battery is getting low. Let's just see if that flight time they advertise is even close to right. Whoa, it's struggling. And I think that was kind of it was starting to it was losing power, and that's why we hit the ground. So let's see what the flight time here said. Our controller's beeping, and we're at about 8.5 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording video. You always make sure you stop recording with these toys, because if you power off the drone, there's a very good chance the video will corrupt on your phone and you won't be able to recover that video. So it's around 8.5, take off a little bit, a little over 8 minutes. So to me, the flight time was probably exaggerated by, 40 seconds or so. About a minute, up to maybe a minute. I don't know how long I was on the ground. The controller's just gonna keep beeping at me. So let's go ahead and power the drone off. You can see when you power it on, it does that same thing. The lights go around the drone until you have to hold it down until it's powered all the way up. Same thing with the controller. When you power it on, the blue lights go across to 4 and then all the way back down when you're powering off. So you have to hold the power buttons down for a bit to power them on and off. So a little over 8 minutes flight time is what I got. We might have been able to get another 10-15 seconds there, but it was having trouble maintaining any altitude, so the battery was pretty much dead. You wouldn't have any fun flying it those last few seconds anyway. All right, guys, so that wraps up the review of the Snaptain K30. If you're interested in this, I'll have a purchase link down in the video description. I don't think Snaptain is actually on Amazon anymore, so I believe this will be something where you'll pick it up at like Walmart or Best Buy, which is probably also why it comes in that really nice display box that they sell it in. So look down there if you're interested in this, or maybe you might be able to find it even in Best Buy stores, I don't know. All right, guys, if you're new to the channel and you like content like this or tech stuff, please consider subscribing. While you're at it, click the bell that way you're notified when I do upload new videos. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day.